authors there. And so as we go ahead and talk about this issue about what is going on in the world today, I want to go ahead and just direct to on welcome here first off.
Thank you for having me, Jim.
Yeah, and John as well. Both of you are healers. Now I want to ask you, what is a healer? What is a healer?
For me, a healer, I'm nothing more than a conduit of energy from all around us, and I'm able to channel that in, and I'm just answering whatever prayers that person have and whatever the need at that time. That's my interpretation, to facilitate that process that all of you inherit that by just helping you just to get that clear and then help you heal whatever you need on different level. I see myself as like a carpenter for the human body and energy.
Okay. What about you, John? What do you?
I like her description. I think she's done a good job of explaining it. Yeah, I guess I'm a carpenter as well. I've been doing this since the early 1980s, and at first it was more informal, and then later on it got to be more serious, as I was also a hypnotherapist, and so I was working on the healing of people from a number of different vantage points.
Now, I want to go ahead and just ask, there's a lot of things happening, especially in the world today. There's a lot of, unfortunately, even within our nation, a lot of division, things that are happening. And I know through it all, we have a lot of lessons to learn. And I just want to ask you on, what do you think is the cause of just all this tension and just this feeling? It just feels restless, overall. Would you agree or disagree?
Oh, everything that is happening, I think it's a gift when you see it. And realizing, I actually went and get my American citizenship on the day of the election last year.
Well,
so I'm now a U.S. citizen, realizing that everything that's happening right now to give us that realization that we are taking our freedom for granted. For so long we have our voice that we don't speak up. And I realize I'm totally guilty of that because I haven't had time to be a citizen. I can make that one voice of a difference. And I think with all the tension that we just feed into the media and everything else, we are so much focusing on the negativities of what's going on. But instead of blame and game all that, why don't we focusing on just love and compassion and starting within yourself and then radiate that out even to the person that have so much hatred because they needing the love the most.
Okay, but let me ask you this. It's easy to say that when you don't have that feeling, right?
Right.
But, there's a lot going on, and how can people become more self-controlled in not acting out kind of the things of what they're feeling?
For me, going back to the breath, simple, people forget. The simple thing that they can do is back to the breath and just breathing. We are so stressed out breathing up here. We're not breathing, we're not oxygenating our body enough. And going back to simple meditation. And it doesn't have to be sitting in the Om for 2 hours. Simply just pause for a minute. Just press pause. Just pause away from all this media for once and just tuning in. What is happening right now? And they're just like listening to them so they can feel and hear themselves and what's going on. And half the time we react. They just react so fast. And I find that if they just stop, pause before they respond instead of to that rage.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
Just take that moment before we react or respond.
Right, right.
Very good, very good. Well, John, do you want to add anything to that?
I do. We are living in a society and in a time in our history where we're going through massive change in our technologies. And these technologies are making our lives somewhat easier, but at the same time, they are just completely surrounding us with all kinds of energy sources. Most people in the United States now have a Wi-Fi unit in their home. They have their own cell phones that they are packing around with them. Then we have just about every business is wired with various devices. And so we are surrounded by these new energies. And then we have television, radio, and all kinds of other devices that are transmitting around us, and it is beginning to affect us in a very negative way.
Well, I don't see it getting better because the more we are advancing, it's funny. Technology is letting us do things faster, but what do? We want more accomplished.
Yeah.
And so we need to think about this. I like, Way, what you talked about, just pausing. Okay? Now, in terms of just globally and people that we run into, a lot of people may or may not understand exactly the things of what you're saying. I don't comprehend the whole world of healing and meditation, but I know that there's a real value. Yoga is really being embraced by a lot of people. I know Reiki, even hospitals are embracing Reiki to deal with pain. And I know that just because we don't understand it or we feel uncomfortable about it, when we don't take the time to really understand it, it doesn't mean that they're not valid, some of these things.
And some of the thing that I think is like, think of that, you have a power cord that plug into your phone right now, Jim. And can you actually see and feel that power that's charging your phone? And that's how energy is. It's this invisible, but yet people feel it, right, of how they can recharge you. And I cannot stress enough on meditation. People think of meditation as like a monk sitting there all day long umming. But my interpretation is like meditation is doing that chores one thing at a time and focus your energy at that. I'm brushing my teeth. That's how I'm brushing my teeth. I'm being with myself. I'm driving. I'm actually being on the road. I'm driving. My head is not chasing back what happened yesterday or projecting what's going on tomorrow. That's how accident happens. So really, meditation, if people can just start simply as being in that moment, just take 1 minute a day. If you don't have 5 minutes, just being in silent and just hear these rambling thoughts, thousands of thoughts going in your head a day. You don't realize that, but most of them is feeding you negative stuff. And if you stop to pause and see what you're hearing yourself, you can just give yourself a big laugh and whack yourself if you really record what you're saying to yourself. So I think if I have to give someone a tip today on just how to be, just pause, just meaning just like set an alarm for 3 minutes, sit there and just observe your breath. That's all. Observe your breath. Just start with that. Simple as that. You can do it at the red light while the red light's on. Just breathe and, you get your dose in.
It's almost sad that you have to say you can do it at the red light. We have so many things coming at us that are always vying for our attention. Children are no longer just left to play. They have so many devices and things that distract them, that pull their attention away. And so I appreciate what you're saying. Now, I just want to go ahead and just conclude here. I know you have a very special event to pull together women. Can you tell us a little bit about this event?
I just thought of something. Women, especially entrepreneur women, we kind of think differently to men. Our creative things, the way we function is different. And I live near Folsom, and I thought of bringing together entrepreneur women in Folsom area vicinity. I have a date for 14th of September at 11 at Macaroni Grill. And just to really connect and how to collaborate and help each other out. Because if we pull as a community women entrepreneurs, we can really shift and shake just our locally and how that can grow. Because how my work is online the most, but how can I collaborate? How can I bring all the women with the mastermind together? And because we wire differently, but we create differently also. But that's something that I'm open up for a luncheon. So feel free to connect with me. I'll post something. I'm going to post a link on your Rush Hour Success event. And
Sure.
You can go there, and the seat is very limited. So if something that you want to make a difference in the community, feel free. I only have 20 tickets pretty much. So those spaces are going fast. So if that's something that interests you, sign up.
Great. Well, you can contact Wei An. Her number is 916-934-4339. That is 916-934-4339. And I think this whole aspect of what you bring, both of you and John, just the healing element, but to focus on just the things that really matter most. Not just being
Yes.
busy getting things done, but really
Right.
stepping back and pausing, like what you say. Any final thoughts here?
This past week, I was purging, and I think not only just the physical purging, that's just only an act, but I think just need to, as much as there's so much information overload, I want to just cut out from all this excessive information. We live in the world of information, and then just really focusing on what really matters in my life at this moment that need my attention.
Yeah.
So I think that's the first part to look at, because we're so busy being busy, we forgot to question.
That resonates with me because
Where
I
are we
have
going?
so many things going on right now, and I know many people out there do. It could be the stress of wondering, just what's going to happen this next year. Some people are looking for jobs. Some people are frustrated about their situation, and there are a lot of people that are quite happy. But I know that, especially here, I just feel this restlessness. I love that advice. Just stop and pause. And perhaps even beyond the red light. Not just at the red
Yes.
light. Take some time at home as well. Any final thoughts here, John?
Yes, first of all the computers that we have in our life have off switches. And I would encourage everyone to learn how to use it in the event they are finding themselves a little overstressed. For example, at night, my cell phones go off. I carry two of them.
Airplane mode, yes.
And
great.
I turn them off at the latest 8 o'clock at night, and they come on early in the morning. As you know, since you and I were talking at 4:44 this morning.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. Well, take the time to pause, and I received that very well. And, as we go ahead and continue on, I'm very excited because we are basically giving you resources to be able to deal with different issues in life as well. The first part, people that are dealing with the economy, trying to get that home, trying to stay in their home. That's why we had Kira and also Chris here earlier to announce that event. But also here, just thinking about pausing and being able to let ourselves heal. I believe life is all about healing. That's a journey. But just moving forward, we also want to give you some further things for your success. That is really how you present yourself. And we have with us professional voice instructor, coach, and also somebody that